Hello everyone and welcome to Biology 107 Lab. This is the lab component of the course that goes together with the lecture portion. And this movie is going to go over the syllabus and the Blackboard site and tell you everything you need to do to succeed in this course. So again, there's my email and my phone number if you have any questions. Email is the best way to get a hold of me, especially during the summer. All this stuff, the outcomes are things that you should be able to do after being in this class, and the content is specifically what we'll do. So what you need for this class, it's the same book as you use for lecture. The lab packet on Blackboard, and you can actually just print that right off of Blackboard, and I'll show you where that is in a moment. Then you purchase a lab kit. You can get that from the bookstore, and they send you a code, and then you send that into Carolina, and Carolina will ship you a kit. Or if you're not using financial aid, you can order it directly from Carolina, and the website is right there, and that will save you a little bit of money. Here's how you get your grade. Most of the points come from the tests, 150 from online assignments, and I'll show you where those are. Those are going to be the practice tests that are on Blackboard. And then in your lab kit, you'll get several things like a sheep brain, a sheep heart, a fetal pig, and you're going to dissect those and take pictures, and that's worth an additional 60 points. Don't cheat. If you need anything from the Office of Disability Services, their website is on there. And then the standard of student behavior, just be nice. And then the last part is the schedule, which I'm not going to go over in this video. So let's go to the Blackboard site. So here's the home page where there will be announcements. Every week I'll send out an announcement telling you what you need to do that week. The next section says syllabus schedule. That's where this video is. That's where the syllabus is. Here is the lab packet that will be helpful for you to print. It's kind of long, but it's basically your study guide for this course. Like for example, there are over 600 muscles in the human body. You only need to know like 40 something for this course. So whatever's in the lab packet is what you need to know. There's more in your book than you need to know for this course. So follow that lab packet as your study guide. That tells you exactly what you need to know. This video talks about how to use the Blackboard tools that I'll show you in a minute. So watch that. And then the proctor form. And your proctor needs to have your proctor can't have like a Gmail or a Yahoo address, because then that's not verifiable. I need to verify that your proctor is a real person. So they should be using a business address. Okay, next section is the lab learning tools. And there's a folder for each lab. So let's start on lab 1. So first of all, we have video and audio podcasts. So for this lab, the podcasts are for the parts of the cell and for the organs of the body. And so this is going to tell you, or this is going to go through the parts of the cell. And what it does is it will say, for example, nucleus, and then there's a pause and you're supposed to say it. And if you have a picture of a cell in front of you, you can point at it. That will help you to learn the parts of the cell. And with these podcasts, you can go through them over and over until you have it memorized. The other one is of the organs of the body, the other podcast here. And then review videos. So for this lab, there's one that goes over the directional terms, which are important to know because you'll use them all throughout this course. This video goes over the cell parts, and this video goes over the different organs. So you can watch those as many times as you need to. Then let's go back. Then practice tests and quizzes. Well, actually, first let's go to the pictures. So this is a PowerPoint that will contain the organs of the body. Um, for this class, you don't have access to our models because you're not on our campus. But here are pictures, labeled pictures, and the second page is the key. And this practice worksheet you can use to fill it in, and it's not in alphabetical order on purpose. That's supposed to make it better. It's supposed to help you learn better instead of memorizing the order they're in. So you've got pictures. So for example, you can um, print off this picture of the organs, and then when you do the podcast over the organs, you can be pointing at the organs, say, so it'll say heart, and so you point to the heart while you say heart, and then it'll say lungs, and you point to the lungs while you say lungs. And in that way, you're hearing it, you're saying it, and then you're pointing to it, so no matter what type of learner you are, that's going to help. And it's also going to reinforce things and get them into your long-term memory. Okay, so also we have a picture of the cell model, and there's the key that goes with it and the worksheet. Okay, then at the bottom here, there's a place to submit some pictures. And the instructions for the pictures that you're going to submit, if we go back to syllabus and schedule, you're going to download the lab packet. So let me go to that. And here's this lab packet, and I would just print it because you're going to be using it a lot. So it tells you exactly what to do. For lab 1, you're going to go to the Blackboard site, go to Lab Learning Tools, go to the pictures, view the images. You're going to use the podcast and practice videos to memorize the different organs and regions. And then it gives you the objectives for that lab, and then these are all the things you need to be able to do. So safety, anatomical position, that's in your book. Then you need to be able to use all these terms. There's a video over that. And then there are prefixes and suffixes that you need to know, and it will tell you, like, this is, you need to do this in your book. And then for the different regions, there's a video for that. And then it says, get your lab kit and complete the organ systems and terminology lab. And so the lab kit is going to come in the mail, and the instructions, we're going to go back to the Blackboard site, and there's a folder called Lab Manual, and it said do the organ systems and terminology lab, so I'm going to click on that. And you probably don't need to print these, you can if you want to. But if you have a computer or tablet or something, you can just view them on that. Okay, and it's going to tell me exactly what I need to do. Sometimes in the lab packet, I will tell you to skip certain parts, but not for this lab. So you're just going to go through this, read the overview and the objectives. It tells you it's going to take about 20 minutes for preparation, and then 20 minutes each for the 3 activities. So you're going to read the background and learn about the anatomical position, anatomical terms, and you are getting these twice because you're getting them here and you're getting them on Blackboard, and they're also in your book. But you're going to need to go over them several times to learn them. So it gives you all the information you need to know. There's the regions and quadrants, and then it's going to tell you about the organ systems as well. Okay, now it's telling you the materials you need. Sometimes it will tell you something that you need but doesn't come with the lab kit, so all this stuff comes from the lab kit in this. You're going to need a cucumber or a banana or something like that, a marker, paper towels, alcohol, and then you're going to need to be able to take pictures. Um, so it talks about dissecting, talks about storage, so you definitely want to read the instructions first. When you're dissecting something, you want to wear safety glasses, gloves, a lab apron, just in case. Okay, and where you see this, that's where you take a photo. And it's going to tell you this in here, but anytime you take a photo, you're going to take a little piece of paper and write on it your initials and the date and put that in the picture. So if you want full credit for the pictures that you take, it needs to have that paper in there with your initials and the date. So the first thing it's telling you to do is you're going to take your cucumber or banana or whatever. You're going to draw a circle at one end that's going to represent the cranial region. The X at the opposite end is going to be the caudal region, because who knows what those are in a cucumber. And then you're going to draw a square in the cucumber, square in the center to be the ventral side. Then you're going to put it in there in anatomical position, make some incisions. I'm not going to go through this whole thing with you, but basically you should have a picture like that. And it might be a banana, but that's okay. And then the next part is you're going to do a similar thing, but with the rat. Only that's more fun because you get to see the different organ systems, and then it tells you about disposal and cleanup, and that's lab 1. So I'm going to go back to my lab packet, and it's going to tell me go to Blackboard, lab learning tools, lab 1, do the practice tests, and there are 5 practice tests for lab 1 that you're going to complete. So let's go back to Blackboard, go to lab learning tools, lab 1, go to practice tests. Now these practice tests, these are going to help you do well. So it tells you this has a time limit of 17 minutes. You do need to complete it within that time. It's not going to automatically submit, so it will let you finish. This test allows multiple attempts, so you can take it as many times as you want, but it does have to be under that time limit. And it will show me your highest score, so it won't hurt you to go back and do it again. So the right arm is what to the right leg, and I'm just going to type in my answer. It's on the same side, so that's called ipsilateral. And I'm not going to do the whole thing for you, but so this question says the blue dot is what to the red dot? The red dot is more towards the blue dot is towards the middle, so I'm going to say it's medial. And you're just going to go through the whole thing like that. And then, at the end, you save and submit. And it might not seem like these are worth a lot of points, but all taken all together, they're worth 150 points, which is 30% of your grade. And so the first time you do this test, you're probably going to need to use your notes, and that's okay. If you want it to be simulating a real test, the actual test which you're going to have, you need to do it without your notes. So I would do it the first time with my notes, because I'm not going to know everything at first. And then the next time I do it, I'm going to try it without notes. And I may do these each test 5 or 6 times until I get a perfect score. And also under the time limit. The reason we have the time limit is to discourage you from using your notes on it, but it's still enough time that you could use your notes. Okay, so you're going to do each of the practice tests for this lab. So there's 3 for this lab, and depending on the lab, there might be 3, there might be more, there might be just 1. So every lab is going to be like that. And again, this lab packet is going to tell you exactly what you need to do and what you need to know for each lab. So it's going to be a good study guide for you. Alright, let's go back to Blackboard. This is where the exams are. You need to send me a proctor form, and I will send your proctor the passwords, because when you try to take an exam, it's going to ask you for the password, and your proctor will enter that password for you, and it won't let you do it without the password. So the proctor will enter the password for you, and then watch you take the test. Make sure you're not using notes or anything, because you don't get to use notes on these tests. And that is the Blackboard site. So I hope you have a great semester and enjoy this course. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email.